Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome, Gary, Cal Smith, Gene Hudson. Oh, everybody's on the. It's a Friday. It's a Friday. We're broke.
Thank you.
We're broke. I got that song stuck in my head. So, how is Amy and everybody? And how are you, Michelle and Cath?
I'm good. Hi, Brian.
So I don't know what we're doing. Are we going to do anything tonight? Because I didn't prepare up.
Nah, me either. We'll just go on the fly like we do.
Well, all right, Roger. I better prepare up then.
Yeah, you better get the dump truck ready.
A dump truck? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I better start. I invoke the light and love of the universe. I am clear and perfect. Conduit of light. This is very important. And love of my guides, Father, Mother, and God, Lord Jesus, Blessed Mother, Holy Spirit, all beings of the light in the universe for all good, all hierarchies of angels of light, loving, healing, and forgiveness, please be present. I ask you for help to do the work that is before me to do so in your name. that is before me was always light and love, and allow me only positive energy to flow through us and within me for my highest good, to flow in around me, through me, with your love. And amen. Thank you. So that's the prayer I always use. Hello, Crystal. Welcome. Hello, everybody.
Can we
Okay,
send
now I kind of feel protected.
Yeah, well, that's excellent. I'm already primed up as well. I'm sure Michelle
So,
is.
well, usually I do that, and I got my bowl out, and I usually ring that a little while. But I got me some new toys.
Shake it.
It's Viking stones on obsidian.
Oh, nice. What's it look like?
So they got
You look
little
like a
symbols on
shaman.
there.
You sound like a shaman doing that. That's
They're
amazing.
not witches' runes like
Oh,
Angela
nice.
has. They're
What about
Viking stones.
We've got these big long sticks, not sticks, big pipes. They're like the American Indian ones, I guess, and they're full of wheat, and you shake them.
That's
They
weird.
use them in music. They're big ones, like a couple of foot long.
Well, Angela has the witching runes, right? I think there's like 28 of them.
Yeah.
So I think I have 16 or 14. So
I don't know much about runes.
yeah. But these are an obsidian, so
They're beautiful.
it looks like when we have a special guest coming. So before she gets on, if she's not already listening, I think I may found somebody to join our team. So she's scouring down her food. Let's see here. Great.
Can we shout out to Harley? Just hope that he's feeling better. He had a bit of a stack on the highway. Just hope he's okay. And Mark too, he's been helping other people as well. You got terrible things happening over there with all your weather and highways and
Hello, Missy Hammer. Welcome. Hammer time. But she seems like a pretty interesting girl, so I want to see what you all think and see if she's gonna be able to swing, better swing, and see if she's gonna. I think she'll be all right.
Go for it.
Just don't ask about thongs.
No.
I think this is probably the wrong show to
don't have
introduce her. Maybe I shouldn't bring her on this one. She'd be like, "What in the hell?"
I think
Michelle's already priming up. Don't ruin her.
Aw.
Oh dear.
I know. How's things down your way, Michelle?
We're warming up again, but it's overcast. So what we've got down here is that we can't trust the weather app at all. So you've really, really got to look at what's going on around you in nature. Yeah, and we're actually looking at the radar the other day because I said that it doesn't say the radar, the weather radar, and it says it doesn't look like it's raining. It's supposed to rain, but it feels like it's going to rain. And when we looked at the radar, you could see the clouds coming across from South Australia, but they hit this line and basically disappeared in a straight line. They just like hit this invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
So no one could see that there was. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I do, because I watch Windy all the time.
Yeah.
And my daughter was coming back, and they flew over from Western Australia down through Adelaide and across that section, then up past your way, and there was a strip like that.
Yeah,
that was like a blank
area. They're cloaking it. Yeah, so there's actually a class action happening as we speak from the farmers at the Meteorology Bureau
Welcome,
of Meteorology.
William. Nice to see you, William. Nice to have you.
Hello, Jean.
Really?
Yep.
That'll be a hard one to explain. There's another area up near Tenterfield, and you get this big circle, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose with the weather. And they get those big white arrows that come over on the BOM. The BOM is the Bureau of Meteorology over here for everyone. It's called the BOM.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's like a whirling fan. Looks like a fan. And it comes up on the radar, and it's sitting just above.
Hello, John. Welcome to the show.
The weather energy there.
Yes, and also that's the same area, Michelle, where they're having trouble with the cattle, with the female cattle.
Ah.
Yes.
Hmm.
The things I learn on the train for 8 hours.
I didn't even want to ask that anything else on that.
I didn't flip anybody off. I don't know what she's talking about.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
I've lost that one. No, because I sit next to somebody, some poor person on the train for 8 hours. So they either talk or they don't talk, or we both talk, or, you know, a bit here and there.
Yeah.
But this particular time, we just 8 hours.
Well, it was funny today. I watched, and this is hello, William. It was funny that, you know, the big topic in America, one of the big topics is about illegals, right? And this guy was in New York City, and he was filming these two drunk people fighting. Guess who they were? Illegals. They were drunker than Cootie Brown. They got free hotels and everything. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Porkies.
So, how
I lost that one.
So, how do they get money for alcohol? Well, we're not going to go there.
Mm. So. Yeah, that's opening a can of worms, isn't it?
Hey, Nat, welcome to the show. You're live. How are you doing? Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Nat, this is Cath and Michelle. How are you doing? Yeah, can you hear us?
Hello. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Yep.
If you, I guess. Okay.
Hello there. How are you doing there, young man?
Can
you hear us okay?
Yes. Yes, he did call.
All right.
He wants to come out.
So welcome. This is Michelle and Cath. You're live. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
So wonderful. So introduce yourself. Everybody's watching you, and everybody knows a little bit about you, but not a lot.
Oh boy. My name is Nat, and like kind of like what I was doing, like last.
Yeah, that nobody knows anything about you. Yeah, however you want to talk about.
I mean, I don't know. I used to see like the paranormal when I was young, and then I really blocked it out. And then I bought a haunted house, and my son can see things very vividly. So I started that journey of like unblocking everything so that I could teach him how to protect himself and not also feel crazy, because he's like validated things that I thought I've seen. And he's like, I've seen this. Like he's seen the little boy spirit like go in and out of the attic door one too many times. Like he's lost count. Like at different times a day. So I usually like investigate my house, and I'll go live on TikTok and I'll do that. And I'm practicing like live channeling, like as it's like actively happening in my home. So pretty much is it. And I do Reiki, but I really like to not figure out the paranormal, but just honestly like investigate it. Try to debunk things, but sometimes there's so much that just happens to where if it's like happens so many times, is it really a coincidence? Because now it becomes a pattern. And like, how can that be possible? I don't know. Like an invisible puzzle and a mystery. So
no, absolutely. So everybody out there in La La Land said hello, Nat. Welcome to the show.
Hello,
welcome to the jungle.
Hello.
So this is one show that we get into a ditch a lot into, thanks to Cath and Michelle. They are from Australia, psychics. Remember I talked about around the world? Well,
yes,
here's part of the world right here. So welcome, Lizzie, to the show. Nice to see you. So everybody's saying hello still to you. So yeah, I thought I'd bring you on and get your feet a little wet. And I have no idea where Cath takes us. So it's anywhere.
No one does. How long have you had your haunted house?
Just over 3 years now.
And was it like that from the start, or it kind of warmed up as you stayed there?
No, it's a very old house. It's over 100 years old. We actually bought it when it hit its 100-year anniversary. And to the one side of it is a funeral home. The other side of it is the graveyard. We got cemeteries up above the I'm in Appalachia.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot that goes
Yep.
on.
There sure is. I've done a bit of research on that area.
Yeah.
Pretty hairy. Yeah. A
It's
lot of
fascinating.
unexplained. Yeah. Have you walked it all?
Yes.
Careful. I need to take.
So, do you believe in Bigfoot then, since you live in the Appalachian Mountains?
Yeah, and I definitely would
And
be terrified.
G-Man Fridays. Or
I
Macusen.
feel like I would be terrified if I'd be probably in awe, but I would also probably be very scared. Because at least the other things that are around this area, right? They usually pretty much stay invisible. So it's like it's okay. It's more of like an energy, but that is very physical. Very physical. And physical is very, like, to the point where that really scares me. I'd rather have ghosts making noises, trying to like rattle my doors and actually be like a human being, obviously, but I'd rather hear that all day and be tricked than there ever be a real human at my so.
Wow, Liana's coming back, Nat, and saying she also lives in the Appalachian Mountains too, Nat. She said that's awesome.
I wonder if you get the same activity.
I wonder too.
Like, do they do physical things in the house, or like throw things, or?
So the kitchen gets the most poltergeist activity. I've had cabinets opened, the basement door opens a lot, but there's a shadow man in the basement. But he's been around since I was little. And then the doors will jiggle. Or out here not. They usually jiggle. One time there was a shadow of like a man, and I swore I heard a man's voice. And then when I went to actually go look, there was nothing there and the shadow was gone.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hope okay.
Yeah.
What I saw.
So do you get any physical like stuff being moved, like, you know, shoved across the shelves or tables or anything like that?
No, it's not ever usually like malicious activity in that way. I've had the EMF reader knocked over before, but that was again in the kitchen. I've had any of my gnome stuff. That stuff though will be messed with, but I have like discovered some space in my home and in my home recently too that I had to get out. Like it is wild up here. The energies, it is so different than from in Florida, like where I'm actually from. So it's actually kind of exciting that I moved somewhere where there's just so much different activity. So I can just do so many different investigations and get different stuff each time. Even like throughout the day, the energies, like you can watch them shift.
Interesting.
But we get more like physical contact, like being touched or seeing things in the bathroom mirror. We have that type of stuff.
It sounds like you or your son or you or both of you have medium skills, and that the spirit are just there wanting to actually talk through you to somebody, is what I'm feeling. What about you, Cath? What are you thinking?
Yeah, they seem on the friendly side of things, like the way they're going. They may just be messengers.
I know when I get touched, it's like I have to like stop and go, okay, who is it? You know, what do you want? Do you want something? You know, and to actually take that moment to actually like ask the question. Otherwise, sometimes they can get more insistent, and it's not malicious. It's just that they really want to get a message through.
Yeah, I find that's when they start throwing things. You know, you know,
because you're not listening.
Yeah, exactly.
How did I know Stingray was going to come up and pop into this chat right then? How did I know?
I don't know. Where is he?
You're right
Yeah,
there.
he's-
It's me,
Oh.
Scottish ladies. I knew he was going to say
Oh,
something.
I can't do a
He
Scottish
sings.
accent. What it,
Yes.
can you do somebody? Is that
He's got the bagpipes.
I told you, Nat, I never know where the show
Oh
is
my
going to go.
I still don't know where the kilt thing came from. No idea
what?
why everyone laughs about that.
William says, I found that paranormal encounters here in America are different from what I've experienced in Europe. That is true. Two reasons they say is number one is the rich history in Europe and how far it goes back to the thousands of years ago, right?
Yeah.
So that I think attributes to a lot. What are your all's thoughts on that?
Same, similar. That's the same with what Michelle and I were just saying, you know, that sometimes they throw stuff, but I've found in some situations they just want you to listen. In other situations, you're going down further layers to find out the real stimulus of the issue. And you have to just keep cutting back to find out the real cause.
Yeah,
You know?
you've got such rich like history there,
Yeah.
and so much, so many things that have happened in each century that then there's a lot of crap stuff amongst that, like really bad stuff. So
Sure
there's a
is.
lot of energy, layers of energy with that. So I agree with you. It's whereas Australia is a younger country, we don't have that layering there of that history,
Right. Nat,
No,
what about
like,
you?
Well, one of the reasons I want to go to the UK and invest is because how different I have at least felt the energies. I've watched other paranormal investigations to where I want to be able to experience that for myself because of how old it is, how long it's just been built. A lot of, especially really what seem to be haunted places, especially the ones that get a lot of activity and are feeding into the energy. Like, how long has that been being fed too? I don't know. I find it all fascinating with the history too. And then to
Like,
compare
we're
it
just
to the different energy levels.
like Australia's only I don't know, 300 or whatever years old. Then you've got all the indigenous history behind that. But that's say you go back 5,000 years, then you go back to the continental shift, and that's really the only physical geological connection that we can go back to, for electromagnetics and things like that stress.
I got a question for Nat. I've seen in one of your videos, more power to you, Ivories of Steel. So you sitting in front of a mirror.
Oh
What
yeah.
world? Talk about that for a second.
I mean, they're up in the attic.
What do you do?
Well, I've always had this fear of mirrors since that horror movie The Unborn came out. So then it was very irrational into my pregnancy as well. But it's just something, it's like a fear I wanted to conquer. Just sitting in front of a mirror in my attic that has quite a few different energies. Usually it's just like the kids and Eli. He's just chilling. But I just wanted to see if I could catch anything. And so far, the most we seem to catch are orbs all of a sudden. All like behind me, doing some interesting little things. But I don't know. I'm hoping to kind of catch something weird or see something weird. I don't know.
Ugh, I
does
don't know.
Or like an experiment.
How's your little darling there get along with all of this?
Well,
Hi, sweetheart.
he has a story he actually wanted to tell about something he saw.
I saw a little boy go in the closet. He was actually with mommy.
Okay, so little boy, for context, that is my cat. And my cat was sitting with me, like in my office, on the futon, asleep.
It was
And
you guys.
he went into my room to do something. Then he comes back in my room and all of a sudden goes, "How long has little boy been there?" And I was like, what do you mean? I already knew it was going to go somewhere weird because that was a weird question. I was like, he's been there asleep this whole time. Why? And he goes, I just saw him just now in the closet and I touched his tail.
So,
You did not touch the cat's tail.
it
And
was
then not even a week later, my youngest sister was over here. I ran down to the kitchen for something. She came downstairs. I had to go back upstairs to address him. And my sister was like, when did you come down here? Did you go down the back steps? And I was like, no, we don't open that back door. We don't use the back steps into the kitchen. She goes, but I just came downstairs and I saw you sitting in your seat in your office. I was like, oh, that wasn't me. And she was already really skeptical. And I was like, I thought you didn't believe this. She goes, nah, your house is haunted. I believe now. Like, immediately, because she saw me. She got stuck on, but I even saw your leg. I saw all of you sitting in the chair. But I was in the kitchen. So that was within a week of each other. But there hasn't been that much activity since.
I'm good.
It's like the thing like showed up and then it had fun and then it left. Because we don't really like feed it the energy, the reactions it's looking for.
it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
It's gonna it might happen again.
Yeah. We call the house the paranormal playground. Because there's like the residential ghosts, the ghosts that like come and go from like the cemetery. Our guides are showing up all the time. And then, you know, it's sacred ground. I'm sorry?
Sorry, no, you go. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying how it's sacred ground, so we have the walkers, the S walkers.
Ah,
I
you
actually
talking like Navajo tribe?
Oh yeah.
times?
Yeah,
Oh,
yesterday
no.
I
No.
actually got that
No.
word S walkers around 3 different times on the Spirit Talker, which I knew they were around. But they actually don't let nonsense stay around like my house. Like nonsense, like entities.
What kind of what was the history of like the people that lived there before?
Of course, I can't remember right now. We were looking it up the other night because we just kept getting, this is sacred ground. I protect this land.
How many acres is it on acreage?
No, I'm in the middle, like, of nowhere, like the deepest. Wow, I cannot English lately. The highest point in the Appalachian, and so it's very rural. And when we looked it up, it was like almost a dozen tribes that were all around Allegheny and Garrett County, Maryland, which is the westernmost point in Maryland, and then it went into like the easternmost parts of West Virginia. Because where I'm at, there's the Potomac River, and from my office, like I can look at a mountain, but that's not the state I'm in. That's the next state. Like we're in the middle of nowhere. I'm in a town of like, I don't know, maybe 3,000. I forget. I Googled it at one point.
That's
And
interesting.
it's all very old, like very old. To the point where we have a friend who has a home that was built in the 1800s. And at one point it was even a jail, a local jail.
Oh
Down in
boy.
basement. And
Say
the other
no
night,
more.
yeah, the other night he experienced like sleep paralysis type activity from a being. He heard it walking around the couch. He fell asleep and then he felt it push him down. And he was like, nope, you need to come to my house. Nope.
Brian's asking, does the orbs ever come in and out of the mirror at all?
That's what I was trying to capture. That's one reason why I keep kind of going back to the mirror, because I want to try to capture it coming out of the mirror. But the craziest thing I've caught so far is I can have the EMF reader on the mirror, and sometimes it'll be going off and sometimes it won't be.
Is that mirror silverback, like an old mirror, or is it a newer mirror?
It's older, but not that old.
Okay.
And like I can even move it around like the entire mirror and it won't be going off some of the time.
That's interesting.
Exactly. So that's why I keep going back to it. Because I'm like, what the heck?
So did you deliberately buy this house because of the history of the hauntings, or
No.
no?
No. Long
So you
story
found all this out
short.
after you bought it, or
Yeah.
during?
Yeah, after I started feeling some interesting energies, especially because we were new people in the home. And I was like, oh, great. But it's right across the street from my parents' house. And it was like just perfect. So that happened. And then we've discovered all of the activity throughout the last like 2 years of the 3 years.
Yeah. Which is very interesting. I just want to say from experience that living with that type of energy 24 hours, 7 days a week can actually get quite exhausting to you mentally, physically, and spiritually, because it's like you're being bombed all the time, like spirit bombed or ghost bombed or whatever. So it would be really wise to find ways to actually counteract that.
Oh yeah, I've actually in 2022 I went through the 9 rites of Moon Key, and I also took an energy reading course, and to learn certain psychic tools to clear the energy, call back my energy, release certain blocks that come up during shamanic journeys, and Reiki as well. So I've been trying to tie all of that in with everything going on, because I need the kids to know. We're very susceptible to it. And my fiance, he eats a lot. And they really like to mess with him because he doesn't have the protections yet. I offer it for him, but again, he's an adult, so he's more free will, than the children. So I can't do protecting if he's not putting the attention there himself and doing it for
or
himself.
permission first. Yeah.
Yeah, he gives me permission, but I'm like, you need to try to help yourself too. I can only do so much. Like, you need to put it out there too. Like, yeah.
Do you find that the children in the area discuss these sort of things together? If the action's so prominent in the whole area, are the kids open about it and talk to each other about it?
So I homeschool, but my fiance, he experienced some things like with his brother when they were growing up, paranormal in the home they grew up in. And it kind of seems like they kind of kept it to themselves. But now you have, actually, I discovered this at the last homeschool group. There are children who are in his class that the parents like to paranormal investigate their house, and they're not even like a mile away. So I think I'm going to discover a lot more children whose parents aren't like afraid for them to embrace it, to learn how to address it, because it's just so prominent around here.
I think it's fantastic that the kids, have, they can speak about it to each other and everyone's open about it, because like we're the guides. But if the kids are open and there's that many kids experiencing all of this, that it's super important, especially with all the connections and everyone being so close together. Because one might clear something and another one may cop it, and it might just keep passing around, and then all the kids are passing it around, the animals, the land, So it's just continual.
I've even just noticed that with connections in general throughout the U.S., certain spirits or entities showing up in mutual group of us making its rounds, and that's happened so far.
Yeah.
Like spiritual warfare is so prominent now, and we always would talk about it. I grew up hearing about it, but can't fight it unless you're really aware of it.
Interesting.
He can ask anything he likes.
Michelle?
Right.
Grizz? Perhaps you'd like to spray some holy water around and
Yeah.
did you exercise that mouse, by the way?
Yeah, the one I lost the other night that the spirits took. Yeah, that was very freaky. I would admit that.
I
The
saw
dolls-
some of that show.
The
I was,
dolls got very wet last night. So
Yeah, what happened? I didn't hear about that.
So right before the show, right before we went live, my mouse dropped in the studio right by my feet. I told Barb, hold on. I went down to reach it. It was gone. Barb said, what's wrong? I said, my mouse fell on the floor. And I said, hold on. And I got up, moved the chair. I couldn't find it. So I got a flashlight. She said, what's wrong? I said, I can't find the mouse. She said, you just dropped it. I'm like, I know. So I moved the chair and I look. I'm on my hands and knees. It's gone.
Mhm.
So I start the show, put myself in backstage. I can't find it. I went out the mouse the whole show. After the show, I looked and looked and looked, couldn't find it. So during the show, my light goes off. And they're like, it's the dolls. So I grabbed my holy water and I used a whole bottle right there live on the show. Just pow everywhere. And they were like, damn, Grizzly. And I was fired up. I was like, these dolls are going to burn tonight. You know, yes, I was going to catch them on fire. Well, that made them mad. It turned off my light. And I'm like, right there on live, you see the light on me, right? It turned it off on my studio desk.
And did any of them move?
I didn't even look. I was so mad. So Lala was like, well, just be nice and ask him to bring it back. And I was like, whatever. So I said, please bring me back my mouse. So I left the studio to get me a Mountain Dew. I joke you not, 45 seconds later, I come back in. It was right next to my desk by the chair. That freaked me out. So then I was watching TV in the studio. And I was going to watch TV in the studio. And I couldn't find my Roku remote. I'm like, you got to be joking. So I went on Amazon, ordered 2 of them. I was like, screw this. Right there on the chase the next morning. It was not there. So we figured out it's my crystal bow. I got it out of storage and I've been using it. I guess I don't like the frequency on it.
What is it? Do you know what key it's in?
Yeah, G sharp.
G sharp.
And that's the God note. It's a good chakra and clear out your chakras. Good for psychics. And yeah, it's a very good note. If you don't know what it is, ladies and gentlemen, look it up. I think it's a 10-inch bow. It's a real nice crystal bow. So.
Well, they're not liking that then, are they?
No, because I did a demonstration. This is funny. I did a demonstration last night at somebody on the phone. Guess what happened? My lights went out. They just went, boo.
Do you know what kind of crystal it's made out of?
Real crystal.
But like rose quartz or?
Oh no, it's crystal.
Just straight crystal.
Yeah, straight crystal. Yeah, it's a nice bow.
They're beautiful.
I think you probably get one for like $100.
Mm.
So.
They're beautiful.
Well, that is interesting. So.
Yeah, it really is, and I didn't even think about that until somebody was like, "So what did you do differently?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't change my prayers." And they were like, "Well, go get sage." I'm like, "I don't like sage; it stinks everything up." It's like I use my incense and holy water, right? And I was like,
So that is very interesting. So frequency really can.
Yes, it does.
Be the difference between actually being able to clear something or not, or
yes,
or actually piss it off really badly.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what I
Yeah,
said
'cause it
last
gets you
night
lost at
to,
one.
to somebody on the phone. I was like, if anything else happens tonight, I'm going to go drink me 2 Starbucks coffees, you know, those little instant shakes or whatever. They're like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to torture the hell out of these dolls. I'm going to ring that crystal thing all night long, just nonstop. And that's what she did. She laughed.
That's
She's like,
mean.
just film it. I'm like, what? Filming me going crazy and ringing the bow all night long? So, yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad. Yeah, the frequency. I think it's 532. I think it's what it is. I'm looking it up now to see what there's 432 or 532. Let me look it up. As I knew somebody was going to ask me what frequency it was on.
Probably 532, I reckon. I reckon that's one of the frequencies that I run. Yeah.
Because I picked it out. No, I'm sorry. It's 432.
432?
Yeah, 432. Yeah. And the G sharp is a Zil chakra, helps nurture your multidimensional communication and clairvoyance. Through resonance principles, other crystal bows like Yaze. It's the the God. Okay, so it is tuning with God. Also aids in developing natural psychability, lucid dreaming, interdimensional communications. Newly awakened chakra sits at the base. We already know that. It's also termed as the mouth of God. So, yeah. Why are you laughing? Why do you always laugh at me? Damn it!
I'm not laughing at you.
Yeah, you are. Now you
I'm
got
not.
Michelle laughing. Now Nat's laughing. Now go ahead, Nat. Just go ahead and laugh.
No,
What the hell?
I'm not
Everybody laugh.
laughing at you.
I said God, and there
It's
you
just
went.
the connections that seem to open up whenever we get close to this subject.
I'm going to ring that damn thing all night long. You watch. See anything else happens like that? I'm going to torture the hell out of them.
Have you measured it on the
Just
machine?
be careful your head doesn't explode.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, have you got any? Can you measure the actual hertz to see if that is the actual hertz that it is?
What the hell? You think I'm that scientific? No, I don't have that device.
Like,
Do
the EMF machines and that, will they pick it up?
No, that's electromagnetic field. That's EMF.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
What's the other one that'll pick up the hertz?
The frequency, a hertz.
Yeah, the one that Chris has.
Yeah,
That he has for
that's
sound and
audio.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's audio.
Maybe
But-
he can test it out.
So when you buy bows, that's why I don't like metal bows. Metal bows are just something else you just tune into. But if you buy crystal bows, if you buy the right ones, they're actually come in notes and sharps. And you pick the notes and sharps that suit you. And if you buy a set of bows, crystal bows, they can run between $300 to $600, $700. Depends on the notes and the sharps you want and the size. So why are you laughing? See what I
I'm
do with
laughing
that?
at the comments. I'm laughing at the comments. I'm
I ain't
allowed
even
to
reading
laugh
them.
at the comments.
So I bust out laughing when he said mouse. What that
Yeah,
sound
me
funny? when
too.
said
I
mouse?
was like, yeah.
Does this sound a little bit better? What the hell? Mouse, 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 mouse.
Yeah, the mouse of God and your computer mouse disappears. See, Brian, that's what Brian.
That made me mad last night. It freaked me out, but it made me mad because it just fell on the floor, like right by my. Because when it fell, it hit my foot because I don't wear shoes in my studio, my socks.
Well,
And
they're
I
trying to
felt
tell
it.
you that they're trying to tell you it hurts their
Oh, they don't
little-
like it, man. It's like they
thing.
because it was weird because I didn't think about it, and when I played it for somebody, as soon as I hit it and went, the light went. I was like, "What the hell?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "The light just turned off." They're like, "See, I told you." And I'm like, "I didn't even think nothing about it."
I wonder what would happen if we
I don't
all
think
had
you
one
should be
on
doing
and did it at the same time.
Yeah,
in
what
the same
Rebecca
key.
says.
Now nothing. I did a very good cleansing and some really new prayers, and I did a bow trick 2 hours for the show just to make sure. So, yes, thank you. Rebecca.
That everything is changing regarding that. So the stuff that you've been doing for clearing, cleansing, is not working the same way that it
No,
used
you're
to.
right. That's why I had to change the prayers.
You're gonna have to up level. everyone's going to have to up
We ain't
their.
gonna use sage though. That stinks.
It
What
doesn't
does?
say it doesn't work.
No, that's a
They eat that stuff for
token
breakfast.
gesture.
Yeah, I use incense and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
use sage.
Yeah. No.
I like the smell of it and everything, but I know I need to do a lot
It's
more than
good
just
for actually cleaning the house, as in cleansing the air, because it cleans all the bacteria and stuff out as well. So it's very
That's why I got
antibacterial.
Lysol.
What?
No.
Go.
So
No.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, sage does kill bacteria. That's where everybody says use sage. And I don't know if people know that or not, but that's true.
It's very
So.
good for doing that. So hence, it can get rid of some of the energies, but it's not going to get rid of the really, heavy duty guys. Just not going to. They eat that stuff for breakfast.
Ew,
Sorry.
maybe a Popeye and spinach.
What?
Bye.
So Nat doesn't know. I got like I don't know, $25 above my head in the studio, and I got them throughout the
How many?
year, about 25 plus. And yeah, they're all different sizes and shapes, and they are crazy.
Why do you collect those?
I didn't remember. I started, and it just like they just manifested. I just couldn't stop. I'll be like searching, and it's like, Mommy.
So they're all, they're all joining together like a big.
Yes, they were. It was like crack.
You don't see anything like
crap.
wrong with that, or bit.
What you saying?
That's like playing with fire. You're going to get burnt.
Like
They were
Ring a
gonna
Ring a
get burnt
Rosie's
last
only
night.
in a tariff show.
Now, so Nat, on one show, and everybody will tell you in the chat if you can read the messages or not. On one show, they wanted to see the dolls, and I used to take pictures and have cameras on them. And so I put one in front of the camera. Damn thing winked, and it flipped me out on the live show. And everybody was like, it's got blinky eyes. I'm like, I don't have blinky eyes. I don't have blinky eyes. So I had to show them. And everybody's like, what the hell? Yes, everybody was like, oh, man, it freaked everybody. It freaked me out. So, yeah, my dog, see, look, they're talking about the live blinking right now. See?
Don't give the spirits in my house ideas with my children's stuff.
Here we go.
Yeah, I won't have a doll in
so
the house.
far.
When I was a kid, I had a big one, like a big walking doll. Like the doll was as big as me, that my mum gave myself and my other sister, and we both hated them, like with a passion. Like we wouldn't even play with Barbie dolls. We were just like, nah. And then the younger sister comes along, and guess what? She loves dolls, and she loves playing Barbie. So we used to get, the trouble we used to get into, that she used to get us into, and she would like bribe us with these things to get us to play with these dolls. Anyway, we were talking about it the other day, because this is like years and years ago, and we were talking about it, the two of us, and she said, I'm going to get her a Barbie t-shirt for Christmas because she annoyed me so much about Barbie dolls. And I said, yeah, remember those big dolls? I said, whatever happened to them? And she said, oh no, I bet she's got them, and she's going to bring them out, and she's going to torment us with them later in life. And I went, no, she wouldn't do that. And anyway, she rang us straight away. She said, hey, whatever happened to those dolls and all your Barbie dolls? Oh, she said, they're in storage. I was going to give them back.
Where's that storage located? Might have to do a little adventure, Michelle.
No. You imagine a life-size, like,
no.
doll. No.
And these days you can
eyes at me.
Yeah. I know we could jazz it up and turn it around and scare her.
Yeah, and it had real hair, like human hair. Like, it's just gross. And
well, old dolls did have human hair.
Oh, it's awful.
No.
And then it kind of got eaten and stuff over the years, whatever. So my mother found a wig and put on it. Well, they look like Ronald McDonald, because she put this red wig on it. It made it even worse. It was like, no, get it away from me. So yeah, no dolls. No.
Do you have any toys that move in your house, Nat, that plays by itself?
No, I have lots of animal toys.
They're respectful, but the spirits in the house that I grew up in Florida were not respectful.
What the
And like
hell
my
y'all
younger
doing?
sibling toys would go off all the time.
Yeah, not me. I'm good. Is this show and tell?
I've got an owl.
Yeah,
Oh, you
same
can't
up.
really see him, can you?
No,
He's very
Brian,
cute.
I'm afraid to even touch my dolls. And I know it sounds awful, but
He's actually
you go.
got real feathers, this one.
There were
Oh.
just caps above my head just now.
oh, wow.
Hey.
Of my head.
Amy's like, I like show and tell.
What the heck?
I have a grizzly bear above my bed. I use him for doing Reiki. He's my Reiki bear.
Yeah,
I
I've
had
got
no
a good
idea
bear I
where
use.
you were going with that at first. I was like, Michelle, what the hell? I was like, woo,
No,
where we going?
It's a real grizzly bear. It's not a little bald
Okay.
hairy man.
All right. You got me blushing. No,
next thing
Crystal,
we
I do not
do-
need Robert the doll. That's for sure. Mm-mm.
No.
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 Kath's got
uh-uh.
dolls. Haven't you got dolls, Kath?
Big pardon?
You have trouble with your dolls?
No, never.
No.
Not that I know of, anyway.
No.
More like real people ones, a big problem.
Mm.
But
We
no,
all have
I do the
We
same
all
as
have
you.
our inner demons, yes.
Yeah. I have a big teddy bear. I call him Barnaby, like Barnabar. And I use him the same way.
Barney, is he purple?
No, he's the same color as a normal bear. But a big, massive one. I used to, he's been on airplanes. He's been on the ferry. He's about 3-4 foot high. So sometimes I use him with the Reiki as well, for the distance.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
saw my daughter once, a grizzly bear, or teddy bear at the fair. It was bigger than her, and she got mad because she had to carry the damn thing. I couldn't believe it.
That's what happened with my son. And I had to bring him home because I bought him in the city, and then I had to bring him home. So that meant a bus trip, a ferry trip, and then I had to bring him up home to the country. So that meant a plane trip. And by this stage, everybody knew this bear, and he got his own seat on the plane.
Really?
I know. It was so funny. Yeah. They bought him a drink. They opened the table for him.
They're saying I need a Barbie doll to add to my collection. I'm good.
Yeah. Unless it's one worth a fortune.
At
I've
once.
got a 1950.
One that wears a thong.
Yeah, Nat.
That'd be a modern one.
So you have to explain to Nat what that is. Nat's probably looking at me thinking, I know what that is. No, you don't.
Actually, we were trying to find jokes today, to out-joke you. And I couldn't find
You
one
can't
about it.
out-joke the grizzly.
I can.
Yeah,
Why do ducks have feathers?
Why?
To cover their butt quack.
Okay.
Quack.
Why do you never see elephants hide in trees?
I don't know. Something about a trunk, is it?
No, because they're so good at it.
No, that's terrible.
I couldn't hear that.
Did you hear about the kidnapping at school? Yeah, because he woke up.
Oh.
Okay, I've got one. Why should you never trust stairs?
Why?
Because they're always going somewhere. They're always up to something. Always up to something. Sorry.
Did you hear about the dentist and the manicurist?
No.
They forgot tooth and nail.
You notice he's not laughing as much today. So they crack
I'm
jokes.
trying to keep a straight face. Where were the Indians here? Why were the Indians here first? They had reservations.
Oh, okay. I'll pay that one. I'll pay that one.
If the seagull flies over the sea, if the seagull flies over the sea,
I can't see the comment.
what flies over the bay? A bagel.
A bagel.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. All right. Out.
Look,
Yes, you
now
can
now now
outro
they're
this
starting to
for
tell
work.
jokes in the chat. I can't even find my
Yeah.
cursor. It got me laughing.
Yeah. All right.
And
So what's
send me a
the- and that-
message, and
what's the
I'll send
worst
you a
thing?
couple of prayers to get you some protection on that. Not a problem. I'll get you some help. And Amy's like, "Oh my God, Amy, you pull my cord, get me warmed up, and see we'll be in stitches."
That
Now, what's
question
the
about
worst thing that you've had happen there? In the time you've been there, what's the worst thing that you can like tell us
On the
about?
police department or me or now?
No, not you, Nat, the
Chris,
special guest. You shut up. Just cut that out. No, I'm talking to Nat. Worst thing that she's had happen at the house.
sorry. That's why they call me lightning, delayed reaction.
Probably before I got my attachments taken care of and like had them all identified, because, or I mean, maybe even after I had them identified, but they weren't removed just yet, because I had 5 decently ancient attachments, and one of them was not so very nice. Had been following me around since I was young, and I would actually feel like my bed, like someone was like walking into my bed, like you know how when you bump like into someone's bed and like move it, that would be happening. Wow.
That door got me.
I'm sorry. He just like, he's so tall.
Oh, mate. I had a field day just scaring you.
I did. I thought that door. It's like, damn, it got me.
So was that like a dummy, mummy, like a mummy, like the way a mummy would move? Like, is that the feeling?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I mean, I'll like bump up against the bed all the time, like when he's like sleeping in and I'm trying to wake him up. I'm like, wake up. But we would be laying down. The dog's like in on the bed. The cats can't do it. And even when I would nap, it actually happened most of the time when I'd nap, the side of the bed, because I'd be in there by myself, I would feel it from that end. Then I would start to feel touching down my face or like movement of my hair, and I would just ignore him, because I was like, yo, just leave me alone, I'm trying to take a nap. But
Okay.
also, to be fair, I asked the spirits to not like bother me at night, and when I do lay down, I tend to start to hear things, and then like when I sit up, they're not there, like, you know. Like, I guess if you know, you know. I have some friends that have the same thing where they'll start hearing music or voices when they're laying down, or like actual static. But when they sit up, it's not there.
Yeah, there's definitely, I think when you go into like that next level of sleep, like is, you know, they have alpha, delta, blah, blah, blah. And just between sleep and wake kind of thing, where your body starts to relax, that you can start to hear things. Because I know I've definitely heard voices, and I feel like I'm awake. Knocking on the wall when there's no one on the, you know, knock 3 times. Things going past the bed. In energies, you know, above you, and that type of stuff. And then
You get the bed bumps.
Like, yeah, that made me think of, okay,
yeah, but that was actually an earthquake.
No,
My bed actually lifted off the ground and started flying around, and I was like, what the hell is that?
I was thinking of the, you know, the water underneath.
Oh, the water. No, I have the ley line.
Yeah, that's
there.
what I meant, because mine does
Yeah.
the same thing. It just bump.
Yeah.
Like the earth's not moving.
Yeah. And sometimes you can swear that you can hear voices just outside your window, like talking, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Which, you know, you've got to go, okay, what's real, what's not real, what do I need to worry about? Otherwise you'd be like jumping at every shadow like Grizzly.
That door didn't only get me, it got other people in the audience too.
I don't.
That was hilarious.
Hey,
I think
Michelle,
the worst
maybe we
thing
should take that big doll on our trip over to see Grizzly.
Oh,
Why do
yeah.
you want to torture me?
We'll make it remote
No,
control.
watching girls. You're a doll torturer, so we've got to do that. You know, fight back for the dolls.
You know we're coming over. You better get ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
You're not.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
There's one period.
I got bail money and everything.
Oh no!
For
One
us or
period where
you.
I saw sentinels, like
Do what?
actual sentinels, like coming to the door and peeking around my door.
Okay.
So I had to I didn't know what they were because they look like a frog head and like they have a tail, but they're like little like reptilian type things. So I had this really good lady that I used to like, and she would like confirm for me what they actually were. So they're like watchers, like they come and they spy on you, and report back.
That's George in the basement.
Yeah. So you've seen them,
When
and there was
young.
another creature that was very large and like perched above me outside a barn, and then it was like hooded, but it flew off because it had wings. And I was thinking about this before the show, and both of those, the work, like really what I would call dark stuff, happened while I was looking after this kid.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I put two and two together after you talked about the black-eyed children, and I asked a friend of mine about it, and he went, you'd never invite them in because they're demonic and you're inviting them into your house. But what we'd unwittingly done was taken a child in that we believed needed help through a system that turned out to be possessed.
Oh, wow.
And he was in our house for 18 months. And during that period of time was when I saw some of the darkest things that I've ever seen, and was absolutely mortified that those things exist, because I never believed that those things exist. I really thought they were not real. They were just made up to scare people or part of, horror story. But and after he was gone, I haven't seen anything as dark or as that.
How long did it take?
Yeah.
How long did it take after he went for you to kind of ground again?
I had terrible PTSD, and I literally walked away from spiritual stuff. And I had to do a lot of work with this lady. She was actually what I call a soul tracker. So she was quite shamanic. So she would actually go in, because according to her, if you have a really traumatic event as a child or even in a past life, and it was quite bad and you've had several of them, your soul actually shatters and you leave a piece of your soul in those paradigms, lifetimes, dimensions, wherever it's happened. So she used to go in and track that piece of soul and heal it and cleanse it and then bring it back to you. It was quite, I loved the work she did. I was so like enthralled by it, and the stories that she brought back were just incredible, just beyond comprehension of the different lifetimes and all the different magics and things like that. So I was completely enthralled by it. Interestingly, she's actually turned to Christianity now. She's completely dropped all divinations. And I reached out to her and said, hey, you know, I'm just curious, why? And she said, well, I have peace now.
Interesting.
Yeah. She said, I have so much peace now. So while she was doing that work, she was always under attack.
No wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, it's just like,
to me,
yeah, I can see why she,
yeah, like
you can see why she would walk away. Yeah, like some of the things that she told, you know, would tell me, and she would do it through basically meditation and writing and stuff like that. And yeah, and she'd come back with this stuff, and she was spot on every time. Like, she was incredibly gifted. Yeah, but she walked away. Said, no, I can't do it anymore.
The soul retriever would be the hardest. Like, I admire them out of every task anyone can ever do. To bring that back in one piece without any danger or damage to the self or the person or the pieces. I admire those people.
Yeah. Well, you know how you guys do the crime show, and then you've got psychics that are actually tuning into that event or an energy of that event, and they're all different in what they do, but it has the same toll on you as that, because you're actually, you know, you're seeing, feeling, hearing stuff that's really, really beyond imagination most of the time, and it does have an effect. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you never know what you're going to run into.
No. Right. So,
and Nat, how do we see you, Jeff? Welcome to the show, Nat. Everybody's asking how they follow you and reach out and get a hold of you.
Oh,
you want to give out your TikTok and your YouTube channel?
Yeah. I've had to like change the name for like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram just because of how like I don't know, they couldn't all be the same. So for TikTok, it's Nat and then period the Radical Raven 14. And my YouTube is also Nat the Radical Raven 14. In my Instagram, I have 2 Instagrams, but the one that I tend to post my TikToks from, where I do my investigations, that is on Instagram, and that's just Radical Raven 1.
Awesome. All right. Make sure and reach out to Nat, and I think Nat. You got me calling you Nat. I think Nat's coming on tomorrow night at 8 with Angela. So from coast to coast, everybody from around the world. That's a wrap. We'll catch you on another show. Good night, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya. Take care.